Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode in the video podcast edition of Sidiba. This is your host Pawan. We also have our co-host Laprit Kaur. And today we have a special guest who also appeared with us on another previous edition on Friendship Day, which will be uploaded soon, don't worry. His name is Pranay and he's from Telangana. And he's a civil aspirant and he's been talking about a lot of things in a very passionate manner. He was getting interested in a lot of things. Today, he wanted to talk to us all about value education and its aspects. And value education can be taken out and put in a very big context, and many things can be added. So, Pranay, you can just give your a brief introduction about yourself, and then you can just put in
Yeah,
your introductory remarks. Over to you.
yeah, fine. Thank you, Pawan. Thank you, Lovepreet, as well, for having me today with you. And I'm really glad today to put all my words on value education. Moving forward, like before that, I just want to introduce myself. So I am a present a BTech Computer Science graduate, and I'm also pursuing civil services for civil service exam since 2017. Yeah. So why value education? Why I have chose that topic or to discuss is because today I feel this is the most prominent aspect that is missing in our world. To begin with, I just wanna add a line, a quote of my own, that is, humans survive with visible things but live with invisible things. So this can be added in three aspects: biological, philosophical, and spiritual. When it comes to biological, we may see the food we eat. We can catch it, like it may be chapati or rice or anything, fruits, vegetables, we can see. So those are visible things. But what is that invisible thing that we live with? It's oxygen. So we can't see it, we can't touch it. So again, we are living with oxygen. Then when it comes to philosophical, like we all need respect, we all need love, we all need care, compassion, so these are all again intangible and invisible things. And when it comes to spiritual aspect, again it would be like divine's blessings, or something like we keep hearing about cosmic power, like we get that during uh, our when we do some meditation or something. So again that can be applied there as well. So values are also something which are not visible but are a part of our life. They are a part of our life and they have to be, and they play a great role actually. So values are the social glues that hold us together with all our beautiful differences. So that is the real, what to say, like greatness of values. And then why values are important is values are really important because they help us grow and develop and guide all our beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors, right? So our values also are reflected in our decision making, and they help us in finding us our true purpose in our life and also becoming a responsible and developed individual. So that is why value is really really important. So moving again forward, so like from like values really form an important part in everyone's life, and values are really important for all of us that help us to grow, develop, and guide all our beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. So today, values are the one prominent thing that is missing. So, like values, again, there are different kinds of values. There could be family values, there could be personal values, there could be environmental values, and national values, social values, and above all, the personal values plays a great role. It is the personal values which overwhelm or which cloud all the other values. So, giving some examples of them, like social values could be uh, cooperation, it could be justice, peace, non-violence, social justice, social service, and all these kind of things comes under social values. And when it comes to national values, it is citizenship, national integration, freedom, national unity, patriotism, value and importance for national and civic property, secularism. Secularism again becomes a very important part in our country, and respect for all the religions. And then when it comes to personal values, it constitutes many values. It can be courage, confidence, forgiveness. It can be good habits, good manners, gratitudeness, then being ethical, uh, having quest for knowledge, respect for others, sincerity, loyalty. Again, when it comes to personal, it includes all the self, like self-help, self-motivating, self-discipline, self-respect, self-control, self-support, self-restraint, self-reliance, and many of these kinds. And coming next to environmental values, it is love and care for animals, being kind to animals, respect for environment, preserving and protecting environment at the individual level to the best. And when it comes to family values, it is compassion, dignity of the individual, kindness, reverence for the old age, sympathy, and as well empathy, and then tolerance. So these six would constitute under family values. So what all values just I spoke right now were directly given by the NCERT. They have stated or added all these in their curriculum framework. So I wonder one thing today, that we all are taught values at our school age, but where all those values go when we grow up as adults? We start doing all the wrong things knowing that it is wrong. But if that wrong thing again is being done by someone else, we start blaming them. Like, let's take a small example. We are going on a bike. Somewhere, like, there came a reason we need to take a wrong turn, and we are going in the wrong way. Suddenly a traffic policeman caught us. Then we think, okay, he will be giving us challan of 5,000 or 1,000, 2,000 rupees or something of that kind. And we do like, sir, please take 100 or 200 and leave us. Chhod dijiye hame. So that is right for us. But if someone else do that same thing, and if we read about that in news or newspaper or in social media, we start blaming. We start blaming that all traffic policemen are like this, that they take bribe and they leave. So we should think before that, are we right? Before blaming anyone, is it we that we all do all the things, not just in that one case, all the things. Like, suppose during childhood days, we used to do this, like, if teacher is not there, we keep talking, we keep shouting, even though teacher asks us to sit and study silently. Once the teacher comes, again we start reading. So we do it as acting like. So there again we are not following integrity. So that is what integrity is. Whether the teacher is there or not there, we have to do that thing which we are supposed to do or which we are asked to do. But we didn't do that. So that is where we are failing. So that again can come by teaching the importance of the value. So you can't inculcate values without feeling emotional about it. Not, you can try 100 times, you can try 1,000 times, but unless and until an individual don't feel something emotional about it, that value cannot be imbibed in that person. Like, I just want to give an example. Assume there is a child, she has a mother and she don't have money, but like assume she have money but not fit for the medicine that is required for her mother. Now she goes to a medical, she asks to give the medicine, but that medicine cost some more, and the chemist says that we can't give this whole medicine, you need to cut out some with the money you have. But the girl steals that medicine and leave the place. Here two things comes into picture. First thing, that she stole the medicine from the shop, but we also need to see the moral behind the child mind, that she wanted to steal that medicine for her mother, to save her mother, right? But how did she do that? Through stealing the medicine. So here it comes the conflict. It mean, like, it could be like the stealing part is something we can say as a value, and the moral could be to save her mother. So many of times we face this dilemma. We call it as a moral dilemma or ethical dilemma. We face most of the times in our lives too. But the only thing we all must remember is, which already our father of nation Mahatma Gandhi has said, it is not the end, but it is the means that should be noble. Definitely, once your means are noble, your end can again become the noble, no matter what the result. So here we cannot exactly tell what the girl has done is right or wrong, because it is right from one perspective and it is wrong from another perspective. So a same action cannot be right or wrong at one time. It has to be either wrong or it has to be either right. So when we put that action in different context, the meaning changes. So let's take dealing with from the moral mindset of that child, that she wanted to save her mother and she don't have the enough money. So she has done right, that thing as a right from her side. It is right. Yes, we also can agree. या उसके पास पैसे नहीं थे तो वो उसने चुरा के लेके गई उसकी माँ को बचाने के लिए. Well, ठीक है, सही है, okay. But again, if we encourage that, tomorrow she may do something else in a larger scale. She may start stealing someone else's money or someone else's property, something of that kind. So we should not encourage again that. So we must only help the young children, the future generation, to understand why the value are really important. And not just merely teaching the values will help them. We must also help them imbibe that in action as well.
Yes.
So it could be through workshops, it could be through student exchange programs, or it could be through some physical playful activity, like most of the schools may do, but still, like, it is only to a very less percentage that we could see today.
Pranay,
So
before
there are many
Pranay, just a second. So viewers, I think if you see what he has told so far, I think he has covered the whole issue in a very simple manner to understand. He has covered what kind of values, what is value in the first place, then he has covered what kinds of values are existing, and he is also giving us a very important takeaway. The means is important. It's not just the end that is important. The means is also equally important.
Absolutely.
Therefore, I think before we move on. I think we'll ask if Lapit has any questions to you. Over to you.
Yeah, I think Pranay was so engrossed in explaining the whole situation, and he did it really well with very simple examples. I think it, all we can make out from the last 5 minutes of what Pranay said, it clearly indicates that most of the problems existing, the social issues that exist in the world today, the social issues that we constantly try to address, whether it is climate change, whether it is increasing rape cases in India, whether it is, distrust in people, whether it is religious bias, whatever it is, everything boils down to one point, that it's all connected with values. When values are not practiced, when they're not understood, when they are not imbibed by people, that's when these social evils come into place. Just imagine if all of us had very common inherent human value of feeling grateful towards everyone. I don't think there would be any fights whatsoever. If we had this environmental value of respect towards nature, and gratefulness towards everything that we are given by God, or whatever, just simply feeling more empathetic towards everything, would solve this huge problem of us exploiting the environment. Isn't it so simple? I mean, there are so many issues, and we constantly address them. Even before Pranay, so many youth leaders have come on the video podcast, Pavan, and they have been discussing all these issues, right? We have discussed all social evils. But what is the secret behind those social evils even arising is that we are missing out on our values. An important thing to understand is that education without values is just literacy. It's just you get the power of reading and writing. That does not say that you're educated enough, because I personally and very strongly believe that education, you can only say that I'm educated when you understand the importance of human values and you apply them. So thank you, Pranay, for actually introducing us to so many values. To be honest, we knew all the names. We never knew that there are different sections, and they are all contributing towards a different kind of a scenario. So thank you for telling us all of these things, because ultimate takeaway from this podcast is going to be how to practice those values in reality. So Pranay, we were talking about how we have activities and subjects in school saying this is human values, moral values, value education, XYZ. These days, these subjects have also come in the curriculum of colleges. I'm also a BTech graduate. I used to study human values, but I feel just reading text, just like you said, and I totally agree that just reading text. If text was supposed to give us values, then it's been 20 years that we are studying, and we would have been the most valued people on the planet. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Things like sports activities, teamwork and leadership, all these are imbibed by these activities that we do. There are so many ways in which it can be implemented. I want to hear your view on the fact how if not value education as a subject, then how value education can be imparted to children in schools and colleges. And the situation today is that there's a gap between our education, real education, and the education that should be given to children. A gap between the society we imagine that should be and the society which we are living in. A huge gap. So how do you see this picture, and what are your suggestions to curb this gap, to lessen this gap, and to bring the society as one whole? That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. So thank you for giving your inputs as well. It was really nice. And yes, your question is really good, and it is also the need of hour, I would say. So if I hope you have heard about this, and if not, there is one initiative based out of Bangalore, that is Value Ed Initiatives, that is Value Education Initiatives. So what they do is, I'm just giving an example. So this can be one of the methods. So what they do is, as we have physics lab, chemistry lab in almost every school, they create Saksham lab, and that lab is lab for teaching values. So they come out with different methods. Like what they do is, they have created a value wheel. So if you see that value wheel, in that they have divided into 6 major values, 3 positive and 3 negative, and then other further values are being attached to those 6 values. So what they do is, they teach through those wheel. Like they give some case study, how this person was feeling in this situation. Like two friends had a clash between them, and one is feeling angry, one is feeling sorry because one understood that he has done a mistake, and one is feeling angry because he or she has bet him or cheated him or something of that kind. Then they will bring that case study before all, why that conflict has arisen, how the person felt after that conflict, and how they can solve that conflict. So in that lab, they will explain all these things through the activity phase. And not only that, they they also have different programs that they do. Like one thing can be, they have put some boxes where the children can come and share anything that they want to share, and that will be read only by the teachers. Like if they are feeling thankful to someone, or if they are feeling sorrow to someone. Like sometimes what happens is we can't exactly go and tell sorry to someone, knowing that it is our mistake and we need to say sorry, because sometimes for few people ego may come into picture, or for someone it may be feeling of like self-esteem may go down. So yes, there are few people, yeah, we should not again blame them. Yes, there are few people who think like agar मैं sorry बोल दूंगा तो like नहीं मैं नीचा हो जाऊंगा, मैं कम हो जाऊंगा. Well, ठीक है यार, in this earth there are 700 billion people, and every person is a unique universe in himself. Every person, there is no same person. So we should accept them first. So what they do is, that child goes there, he shares all his feelings and writes there and keeps there. Then the teacher will read, and the next day they will teach what can be the takeaway from there, from them, or like what can be, like if someone is facing some problem, so how that can be solved with the help of value. So what I believe is, as Abdul Kalam also said, that the three people are responsible for nation building and for its progress: mother, father, and teacher. So the basic building blocks and the basic fundamentals of value education has to be imbibed by these three people, because most of the times the child spends time with them. It can be either with mother or father, and then in the school with the teacher. Then what I believe is, see, once the tree is grown up, it really becomes hard to cut it down. We need to give a lot of efforts. Then after that, it cuts down. But if it is a plant, like only a 1 or 2 year plant, it is really easy to pluck it out. The same applies to our life. The value education has to be imbibed almost like before the age of 14 to 15. Beyond that, it really becomes hard and to change the people. Yes, there are few people who are very flexible, who keep changing till the end of their life. Changing in the sense, improving in a positive aspect. But as we grow, our beliefs, again I said that value systems are nothing but our beliefs. So like if I value success, I will do anything no matter what. So there what I will be doing is, I will not give importance to the means. My end will be success. I have to achieve it at any cost. But if I value something that I should be a good human, good person, and I should also help others, I should spread love and everything, then I take care of everything surrounding me. So the same thing here comes. Yeah. So the same thing here comes is like, as you keep growing, your belief system becomes rigid. It really becomes hard to change, because all these are made strong in your childhood age itself. So the same thing again I am emphasizing is, like, it is till the age of 14 to 15 that we must imbibe all the good values in the children, and that can be through many ways, as I already said. And again, mother and father has to play a great role, and then the teacher. So basically it is only through physical like activity based will be having more impact on the child's mind, rather through mere reading through the textbooks or giving some past examples.
Yeah.
So I just want to conclude. My point is that values form the invisible part of one's personality. So it really is very important, and it really plays a great role in building the character of a person, and also giving or attaching uh, a name to the person. Like we can say, why Abdul Kalam is so admired today, because he was so simple living person. He was a person with great thoughts, but again a simple living. So that thing added to his personality. So that was his value. The simplicity was his value, which he emphasized or which he followed in his life. So in the same way, it becomes a part of one's personality. And value is a tool that decides a person's thoughts, actions, emotions, and attitude towards everything in one's life. And at the end, I would like to say that value education should not be seen as a separate discipline. No, it should never. It is a part of the curriculum, and it has to be inculcated. And every stage, every stage of our education system demands some better version of ourselves. So values also has to be upgraded. It's not that again what we read in the 10th or 12th, we are again keeping on reading the same values in our graduation or higher education. No, it's not that. So we must also upgrade our value system based on the education level. So that's all from my side. And this is the main takeaway that I wanted to give, that work on values and add all the values that are possible to add in your personality.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, just like you have a resume for all your technical skills and for all that you've achieved in your life, you have your CV prepared, which can go as long as 50 pages. I think we can't
Right,
mention our values somewhere, but it's pretty much our actions in daily life that show what kind of values we have. And to be very honest, in a country like India, a person is pretty much judged by what kind of values his or her family has given that person. Because normally we say achar, which means how we behave on everyday basis. These values define our character. And I'll tell you one thing: in our childhood, our parents used to tell us stories of Sher Aya, some story, some other XYZ story to just to let us know that jhoot bolna is a value. Okay, jhoot na bolna is a value, and then sabke sath loyal rehna is a value. All of these things were like little examples they used to give us. And today, when we talk to other people, when we professionally stand and deal with the whole world, even then what reflects from within you is those values that your mom taught you when you were very, very young. So if you carry those with you,
right,
it becomes your character eventually. When anyone is born, I think I've told this in a session before as well. When anyone is born, that child is not just a child. That child has um, significance in all the four domains. The four domains being his personal family, his personal self, his family, his society, and the universe. So he has different roles to play in all those four layers, right? And how will you play the role? By knowing your responsibilities. Obviously, you know if you know your duties, if you know what kind of behavior is required, then you'll be a better human being. So imbibing values might not give you any certificates, and I'll be very honest with you. If you speak truth always, that might not end up, someone might not come and give you a certificate for that, but I promise you'll feel better. I promise you'll have a better image, and you will be better in playing all those roles in your life in which you sometimes feel stuck. You don't have to idolize ki, okay, I want to be an ideal daughter. There is no definition of ideal. The only thing ideally you can do is to practice those values everywhere you go. So to understand that your existence is not just your existence, it is a matter of one whole community. You have to live with those feelings of patriotism, with loyalty, empathy, everything included in one person, because that kind of person is the most loved person, regardless of how you look, from which state you are, what language you speak. We are three people talking from entirely different religions, entirely different states. But what connects us, just like Pranay said in the beginning, is that string of values that we have for each other. That is mutual respect, right? That is probably caring for the other person's experiences. That's empathy. That's how we connect with each other, right? That's secularism that has been put in us since the day we are born, because we are born in a country like India. So this is, I would say, this is something, it's a very short session with a very short but very deep message for all of you, that values, if you leave them anywhere, I mean, come on, the word itself is value. Value is very, very, something very, very valuable, priceless. If you drop it somewhere and if someone else picks it up for you, then you're gone. The entire stuff that you have collected in your life is not equivalent to the value that you drop somewhere. So hold those values tightly, improve yourself, build your character, because that's what matters the most. We've always said this: work on your personality, leave the kind of person you are, how you look, what you wear. Work on your personality. That's what reflects everywhere. Pawan, we would like to listen from you, your closing remarks. If Pranay has a last message for youth, he can give that message and then we'll close. Pawan, unmute yourself, Pawan.
So yeah, thanks. So I just have one small observation from the whole. I've been listening to Pranay. He put it very beautifully. So I just have one short sentence that came to my mind. So if a person is to know value, the reasoning is going to be very simple. The reason is going to be very simple. That is, if he knows what his values are, he'll be able to have a better character. And if he has a better character, his actions in society are equally dependent. So it's a chain reaction that can follow if you have correct values imbibed. And it can be through everyday experience that can teach you some values. It need not be just schools, colleges. Your everyday life can itself be a example to teach you values. So, and that's what has been my experience so far, and that's the only thing I'd like to say. So, and Pranay, do you have anything to just say, just like a quick message for everybody,
Yeah.
and we'll wrap
So,
up.
so the one last thing I wanted to say is, or to leave the message for the youth is, the betterment of the society comes with the betterment of an individual, but the good of an individual lies in the good of all. So if you want to be good, the other surrounding you has to be good. So it can only come when you value your values and also the others' values.
That's a very strong line. And yes, to end it up, to top it up, I would say, being one of those who always promotes happiness, promotes all kinds of human values, I would say your personal values, life skills, pretty much make you a better, a happier person also. If you are empathetic and helpful towards everyone, it's surely going to make you happy. So be connected to the roots, be happy, value others' opinions, and also learn to keep your opinions forward in front of everyone. Our education is something which is still somewhat in a question mark, but learning values is something you can't put in a question mark. You have to learn them. And it's the responsibility of every parent. I'm expecting all the parents to be, I mean, all the youth who's going to be parents in a few years, we all at least play the role of more responsible parents. We all know different ways of imbibing those values in our kids, and also learning those values slowly as we grow up in the course of life. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I really hope that you'll take the main takeaway from the session at the first place. We'll see you in the next video podcast. Pranay, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure talking to you. As I told you, it was a short session. It's a very simple topic, but it was very important to address this. And we are so thankful to Pranay, who gave us this idea of talking about value education. We will be back again with some more interesting topic, which is important for our existence. Till then, think about the values. Try to imbibe at least one of those in the next one month or 2 months or something. Try to practice them and tell us how you felt after practicing them. Go help people out.